It's pretty much the last 3 minutes. Welcome back to another episode of Fallout Season 2 recap. This is episode 5. We're 5. Like, there's only one left after this. It's crazy.
So far.
We'll
And then there's
see.
2 after that.
Yeah, they're really taking their sweet time with that. When is that supposed to come out?
I don't know. Well, every week.
We'll see. Steve, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing really well. I mean, yeah, we're 5 episodes deep into the series, and as well as this podcast series as well. And I think, yeah, I'm stoked to be back talking about this. I mean, we're without Sami this week.
No Sami this time.
We don't have the full trio. We only have Maximus and the Ghoul this week.
No, I heard that the dog from the show ate her homework, so that's why she's not here. So
that's right.
You know, so that's what I heard. You know, she used that.
So it's only you and me holding down the fort.
Gotta hold it. And of course, of course, she's gone where there's not 1 death claw, but 3.
3.
Where that was a big shock right there at the beginning of the episode. I'm like, oh, there's not just 1. There's like, oh, there's 1 munching on some guy over there on the top of a car. Yeah. Another one's like, oh, what's what you got over there? Scratching his belly there.
I mean, like, what an escalation from how we left off last episode with the full appearance of a death claw and the subsequent tension there between Lucy and the Ghoul, and then all of a sudden just boom, like, oh no, we're gonna raise the tension even more by showing off not 1 but you're right, 3 death claws in this little area of New Vegas.
And Lucy still under the heavy influence of drugs, not realizing the severeness of this, because she's like, any drugs you got? How about with this scenario? Like, will this gun work? The guy's like, we gotta run. Like, I don't think you understand.
You have a rocket launcher?
But I was a little bit sad by that, because I was expecting at least something more from that scene.
Yes. Yeah, I was kind of the same. It was over so quick, but I'm hoping that this kind of leads to something more down the line. Like, I hope that they kind of have to go back in through that area or something, because it is such a cool set piece to set up. But then immediately they're like, no, we're
done, and we're out of safety.
We gotta get out of here, which makes sense. I mean, they were.
Yeah, but like, it's not only that though. Like, there's a whole livelihood town where like these guys are just a fence away, where I feel like they could easily just jump over this fence at any time there's one. Like, this fence is not tall enough for 3 death claws. I don't find.
I was a little mystified by that whole thing of it's just a fence between this and the entire settlement, a free side. And I was like, this is very odd to me that even they know what's lurking outside. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it'll just
suspension
like,
of disbelief,
just don't go out at night. That's it, because at daytime they're maybe they're sleepy. I don't know.
Yeah. The heat gets to them and they go to sleep.
Yeah, they're like, the hell with this. We'll see you guys at nighttime and everything. This episode I must say that it kind of took its. I don't know. For me, I feel like it took its sweet time to get to like the meat and the potatoes here. They kept asking like, hey, you sure you don't want more bread here? I'm like, no, give me my meat and potatoes right now. Because I will go here in order here. We go with a big flashback with Ghoul's wife and his daughter. Oh no, there's a revelation. There's news that Ghoul thinks that, hey, he has looked everywhere in the Wasteland, and he's like, the only place he hasn't looked is in Vegas, where his wife and daughter could be cryogenetic and everything. This could be the one place right here.
Which I mean does answer a question that's kind of been lingering of like, why or how does Coop know to go to New Vegas to begin with, all the way back to the end of season 1, where it's like he just sees Lucy's dad fly off in the power armor, and he's like, oh, okay, we got to go to New Vegas based on what? But now, like, it does make sense that he's spent 200 years. He says he's gone to California, Oregon, and this is the only place that he hasn't really checked out. Which, to me, I was like, I'm trying to think of a map of the US. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, you could have maybe gone to Vegas.
I would think Vegas is the next stop or something. I don't know.
Yeah. But it seems like he came full circle and then came back. But No, I thought that was a very satisfying conclusion, just like a one-off line of like tying a bow on why the hell came here in the first place on a whim.
Yeah. Do you find they're like speeding things up? Like they're just like, okay, let's just move to this next thing and like just jump across. I find they're like this for something. They're speeding things up and like, but yet they're still delaying stuff. I feel like.
Yes,
it's it's a weird motion. I feel like we're in right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because we are halfway through the season and we're still getting to the point of, hey, we just reached New Vegas, and I'm hoping that's because they have a lot of stuff planned in New Vegas and they had to like kind of like take their time. But to your point, yeah, I found this episode to be a little meandering, but then we'll get to it. But by the end of the last 10-15 minutes, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah,
we're really teeing stuff up for the rest of the season.
One little Easter egg: this before the preview show, when they showed the lovely logo of the show you're watching. In case you don't know, it's Fallout. There was a little Fallout New Vegas logo this time, with the light bulbs and everything.
I really like that.
Yeah, it was a nice little touch right there. Of course, if you know, I think this might be the new holiday, not holiday, but Halloween costume. Beat me up for Caps.
I saw that, yeah, and like that was pretty good. And that made me chuckle. Yeah,
absolutely. We have some people in the comment section from last week. I'm sure they want to beat me up for Hey, you want to give me Caps? Come get a swing on, gang. Come get a swing.
You gotta make a sign for next week.
We'll make a sign for next. Yeah. Right. Write hateful comment for Caps if you want. You know. So we meet with the flashback right now, when Cooper and Cooper Howard's last name, and then his wife actually meet up with Lucy's dad, and he's carrying the briefcase right here that's locked up to him and everything, and fake house meets up with them. Because we did, and they didn't know it was fake house and everything, but we knew from many times seeing him earlier in the season, and then he just confronts him right off the bat, like, "Yeah, so I know you're trying to kill me, so because I'm a mathematician and the numbers just made sense. you're trying to kill me here."
Yep. I love the chess game House always plays. How he does play play with the numbers and kind of does have this not psychic ability, but he's able to predict the odds and predict the chances of literally everything happening. And as the episode goes deeper, he's like, oh, by the time you purchase the flight or the flight ticket to get here, you moved like the scaling of everything that's going to happen scale back, like I think he said a week or something?
A month. It's jumped ahead a month because apparently the end of the world was supposed to be on his daughter's birthday,
right?
And then like by you purchasing that ticket, you made it faster. It jumped ahead, and it's kind of fun. He reminds me of the guy from BioShock.
Yes, very much so. Yes, absolutely. And I do love the fact
that
look
the same, to be honest.
Yeah, a little Andrew Ryan for sure. Yeah. I just love the fact that even he's like so into the weeds of playing the statistics and the numbers and everything, but he's like, I don't even know why. I still haven't put my finger on why you even mattered in the grand scheme of things. But for some reason, when you came to Vegas, you kick things up a month or whatever. And I was like, that's so interesting that someone that smart clearly tries to be in control of the situation to such a degree, but still doesn't even have the answer. Yeah. Could they even have that conversation that I thought was very, very interesting of like, well, I was there, I was within the power suit, I was monitoring everything when you were in Anchorage. And we saw the death claw attack you. Well, we don't even know who brought that there. Yeah. It's just so interesting.
It was like the best. I think like the best line is like, yes, the house always wins, but I might not even be the house. Like someone else could be the house. Are you the house? I'm like, I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Like this is a crazy conversation that's going on right here and everything. I'm glad they kind of split it into two parts as well, because at the beginning it was more like, I'm not coming down there like, and then you sitting on your toilet, as Cooper Super says that and everything.
Yeah.
Then we see our good old snake oil salesman as well, coming back here and heading to New Vegas, and then I guess one big roach attacks him along the way. That's
such a funny cutaway.
Funny cutaway and everything. And then good old Lucy's dad just clocks him in the head, being like, "You're my next subject. Come on down. Price is right." Let me attach this thing in the back of your neck. Where I love the camera slowly pans away, and you're like, "Oh, his head's gonna pop," and they're like, "Oh no, he was kind of enjoying it, to be honest."
Yeah.
It's a little, ooh, yeah, I like that feeling, type of thing. And then we switch over to the Vault 31 dwellers, who end up at an old abandoned Vault Tech. I think one of the best lines there, because they hear like a roach farm. The guy's like, "I need to craft a weapon," and he just picks up like a fan.
Yeah. Yep. It's a good reintroduction to that little cast of characters that we last left off with, and where they're off to. Yeah,
absolutely. And then the lady, I can't remember. I can't remember the old ladies' names, but they pretty much tell him like, "Hey, just go back to your little happy house, and you get out of here." Like, wherever you're looking for is not out here and everything. So. And then like we mentioned, this episode flip-flops like a lot of different places. Lucy is looking to purchase some Addictol. Yep. She's looking for, and it's way off, like it's like 10,000 caps, some ridiculous price. Which by the way was $250 before, and it's like, oh, new price 10,000. So even in Fallout, they have inflation, and like, maybe they have tariffs there too. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on. But she finds up, I guess the druggie in her has found different ways to enter in, and she's doing things that she's not normally, not normally stands up for. But this is badass Lucy now. This is doped up, and she got the drugs she needs. She also picks up lovely power fist well on top of that.
Another mainstay in the Fallout universe. I do like, because we've talked about it before, is that the season really kind of tries to emphasize how polar opposite Lucy and the Ghoul are, but how subsequently like every episode they kind of are starting to like meet in the middle and kind of that cross sect. And so I find it really interesting that in this episode you see Lucy kind of swing towards the darker side, and even she, she gets asked like, "Who are you?" and she's like, "I don't even know."
After killing fake Sonny, the other Sonny, he's in a trash can.
That's right.
With like the whole outfit, like big belly, full out. I'm like, dude, this doesn't even fit you. And the guy's face is up there. Like, what are we even talking about right now? I do find in a way that they didn't give enough time for their friendship to like mold as into like they start making you have like oh man, like these two, they're like Buddy and Clyde, like like their buddy system and everything. Not Buddy and Clyde, but you know what I mean. But I feel like they didn't give enough time to build that relationship up in a way. I found it was kind of like, all right, well, he didn't really like her as much until like maybe the last 2 minutes of this episode. I don't know. And that's where that tasting is coming from. I'm like, oh, like it does not give me enough time to care about their relationship.
I have to assume that that's kind of where we're building towards, because you get little sprinkles here of like, a couple episodes ago when the Ghoul saves Lucy from the Legion and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, okay, so clearly they have a relationship of some sort, but still currently it feels very working relationship. Like they're both being used for their expertise or for their needs. They're not friends per se, but I hope that by the time we get to maybe the end of the season or even into season 3, we're seeing these two kind of come together of like, no, we actually don't not only need each other to survive in this wasteland,
Yeah.
but we're actively, you know, a friendship or a budding relationship more than right now, where it seems like, yeah, especially Ghoul to Lucy is very much like, no, I need you.
Yeah.
For a reason. It's not I want you here with me.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Because like one episode, like after the scorpion bug like stabs him, she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go help this guy. I'll see you later, type of thing. Like I feel like I haven't seen like an episode where they kind of come together in a way. And I don't know, like an episode like that is like, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of needed in a way, but
I do too. I feel like you got hints of it last episode, you know, when, you know, they're kind of chumming it up over Lucy being on drugs and everything. And then she's actually showing off her expertise with like guns when she's going after the kings and and all that in that scene. So you're kind of seeing subsequently like that relationship kind of bud. But yeah, I agree. I do want to see them kind of come together of more of an actual friendship.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm thinking. At this current time, no, but
we'll see.
Yeah. How about good old Puppy the cat? That's a good name for a pet,
I guess. Yeah. I mean, again, funny scene. I find myself so enamored by Norm and his storyline that that scene in particular when he's talking to the other the thawed vault dweller, I thought was very interesting. But yeah, Puppy the cat, a stupid throwaway line, but it definitely got a chuckle out of me.
I was like, that's actually she's like, it's pretty funny. He's like, well, not at this current time.
Yeah.
So Barbara was actually in charge of the future Enterprise Ventures, FEV, but that's not what that stands for.
No,
apparently it stands for Force Evolutionary Virus, and we don't know where that's going to be leaning Norm and this gang right here, but that's all I could we're allowed to say at this current time right now, as something else happened at that time.
I mean, in the grander Fallout universe, like the FEVs have to do with super mutants and that race of enemies. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they end up doing with this. FEVs obviously are found in, you know, not only the Mojave Desert where New Vegas takes place, but also in the new capital, wherever Fallout 3 took place, like Washington, essentially. So that's going to be really interesting to see. I'm glad that they're incorporating super mutants now that they've already kind of tackled Death Claws.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting you mentioned Fallout 3 because there's rumors that could be a remake, and there's a certain clock.
There is a certain clock
on the website.
What does the clock mean?
Where's the clock mean? Well, I don't know. We'll find out. One best way to get rid of drugs is a good old hurling, you know, and that's what this medicine has done for her. I feel like she inhaled gasoline and she's like, I feel sick. Let me throw up right now, type of thing. You know?
It's one of those scenes where she's walking through the Freeside streets and just letting her stomach go. And it's one of those scenes that goes on for so long that it becomes even more comical as time goes on.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Even though like you can, they don't hide it very well that there's like, you know, like the pipe or whatever, like
the pipe's right there and everything.
Exactly. But it's just so funny to see. I got a good chuckle out of me.
Yeah. And then she makes her way up, meeting back up with the ghoul and everything. Had one more last hurl. And then good old snake oil salesman returns once again.
Yep.
Fully operational this time around. And he's like, hey, we got to make a deal here. So either you send my daughter back to Voltec and now he pretty much confirms, or maybe if it's, unless he's lying about the ghoul's wife and daughter.
That's right. Yeah. And we also get a little glimpse of their containers earlier in this episode as well. Yeah. Which is going to be interesting to see where that story thread kind of goes, because this entire time I've kind of felt like this was a fool's errand to begin with. search for the wife and daughter by Cooper. But I'm very intrigued to see where this leads, because I feel like, unfortunately, I just don't see this being a happy ending, so to speak, right? No, I mean, maybe the daughter can be saved in some aspect. I have no idea, but
I don't think they're even there. I think he's just pulling their leg just so he get what he wants.
Maybe, yeah. It's going to be very interesting, because I mean, we're only 2 seasons into this series, and I feel like there's got to be more. Yeah, more of a snowball to keep rolling on the ground. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I really enjoyed this episode, top to bottom. I do think that there were some lulls and some lows, but I think it's all character stuff that I think was meaningful in the end. I think by the time we got around to, like I said, the last 15-20 minutes of this, or 10-15 minutes of this episode, I was like, oh, okay, I'm locked in for everything.
No, absolutely. I felt exactly the same way, where like the last 15 minutes, I was like, oh, this is all right. Now the skillet is sizzling now, a little bit here. And then one thing we learned, don't piss off Lucy. All right, that's all I got. Just don't piss her off. All right,
that's right.
Former druggie, and she doesn't hold back. All right, that's what we got to. That's what we got to say here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what happens next, because it seems like that the next episode's going to be full like highway, like 100 miles per hour, 0 to 60 type of episode. That's where they're kind of setting up in a way. I'll be a little surprised if it's like a slower pace episode 6, especially that we're waiting for 7 and 8 to come out.
That's right. Yeah. And I mean, just, going back to it, I feel like a general excitement over Fallout again. You got the crossover with Call of Duty right now. We have this mysterious countdown on the website, counting down to the season finale, whatever ends up coming from that. I'm trying not to get my hopes up too much, to be completely honest, because I know, you mentioned it. Rumors abound about a Fallout 3 remake or a New Vegas remake are out there right now. But regardless of, I think, what comes out of this, I'm really happy with this season so far. And I feel like, there's just a general overall just excitement once again. And I'm looking forward to next episode and the next 3 episodes to conclude the season. Yeah,
I feel like there's they're better prepared than they were with season 1, where they were surprised about the hype for the show. This time, I feel like, hey, all right, we're gonna have this, and maybe we might even see something at the Xbox Direct that's happening on January 22nd as well. So
that's very true. Yeah, in a couple weeks we will be getting
10 days from now.
So maybe that's. So who knows what if there's any ties to that, but I'm totally on board with you that they have so much more confidence in this season. I mean, the first season they released all the episodes all at once, and I was even there before the episodes came out as I was reviewing them, and I was like, oh, they don't even know what they're sitting on. They have no idea that this show is as good as it is. And this time, I mean, like, even when season 1 concluded, they had, I think,
just put it on sale.
They put all the games on sale. They had some sort of 76 crossover or something, like an in-game pack or something. This time around, it kind of does feel like there's more preparation, at least, or hopefully. But I'm just really, really happy with where we are right now with Fallout.
Yeah, I feel like this time around, there's no like playing around. Like, they already have the Call of Duty stuff out now. Right. They look amazing. The character models look like really, really like this, like the Lucy model, and then even Maximus model. We gotta give love to him, although he wasn't in this.
Hey, Sammy's not here to shit talk, so
that's true. That's very, very true as well. And then I'm also throwing our usual comments from last week. Last week. This is from Dub Astro. They said, totally agree. Best episode so far, maybe even the single best episode of TV of the year. To be honest, I'm going to be like, hey, as great as the comment that is, Astro, we're only 12 days into the year.
He's technically not wrong.
He's like, you're not going to be wrong. You're not going to be wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's like a shoe in the week. That's like saying like two teams, hey, a team's gonna win today. Like, you know, like, yeah, you got, you know, but that's thank you, the Astro. And then to everyone else hating on me, I'm still here. You're welcome. So let me know how I did this week, you know, and then we'll check you all out for episode 6. Steve, thank you so much for joining me here, and we'll see you in the vault next week.